everyone, it's Zara, your captivating courtship coach, and I teach professional women how to show up, how to attract more compatible partners in less time, and I also help them to develop their communication and feminine energy and get reconnected with that. So I wanted to jump on here really quickly. I'm between coaching sessions, but I've been really inspired today and just intuitively guided to share this message with you guys about the difference between being nurturing and being mothering. I hear this a lot in my coaching sessions where women will say to me, I just can't help, doing these things for him, or I just can't help showing up this way, or I don't know how to not always be in the doing, always be in the caretaker role, I guess you can say, when it comes to courtship or relationships, because I'm just so nurturing. I just can't help it. I'm just a nurturing woman. I love being nurturing. I love doing that. And I wanted to dispel this myth of the nurturing woman, or what being nurturing actually is, because I find that a lot of women have confused being nurturing and being mothering. I hear this all the time, especially with the women that I work with who have what I call the love me pattern, and they tend to struggle a bit when it comes to codependency, or feeling like they need to be needed. They love to be needed. They feel like others need them. They need to be the one that other people lean on. They love being the person that people come to, whether it's just like releasing emotions or sharing and opening up. And oftentimes they don't put boundaries around those things. But that's a whole nother topic. I'll talk about that another day. Something I work with women through in coaching. But the difference between mothering and being nurturing has to do with where the energy is coming from. And one is being in the masculine energy and one is being in the feminine energy. Now, if you are covering and disguising being mothering with the term nurturing, or saying that you're just, a nurturing woman, you just can't help it. I challenge that thought and I challenge that opinion, because if you're always feeling like you need to jump in, you need to do something for someone, you need to help him, you need to show him, you need to fix him, you need to guide him, right? That's the masculine energy. That's you feeling like you know better than he does. That's you feeling like it's your job to step in, to protect, to lead, to show him the way, and that he's basically helpless and wouldn't know what to do if it wasn't for your love and your support and your guidance. So there's nothing feminine about that. There's nothing nurturing about that. That is actually a act out of control when it comes down to it. When you are in that nurturing state, you are comforting, you are compassionate, you are empathetic with boundaries. I have to emphasize the boundary part, because if you don't have the boundaries around your energy, around your empathy, around your compassion, then you end up allowing people to just vent and dump and kind of just be like those emotional leeches from you. So if you find yourself in that space, then you aren't being you're not being nurturing. You're not being a nurturing woman during courtship or relationships. You're actually just being mothering. And the best way that I explain this to my clients and help them to understand, like, you're actually being mothering, you're not being nurturing when it comes to relationships, or that's not the energy that you're putting out. You're not stepping into that feminine energy. You're actually ruling out of your masculine energy. Is think about it when it comes to dealing with children, right? Now, for lack of better words, right? You look at a man, you look at the man in your life like he is a toddler, like he's a 3-year-old, right? And not saying that he is, I'm just using this as an analogy, so just stay with me. So if you have a small child and you're at the playground with them, right? There's a nurturing parent and then there's the mothering parent. And what's the difference? The mothering one is going to see the big slide, or they're going to see their child fall. And the first thing that they want to do is jump in and protect, right? No, you can't go on that big slide. You'll hurt yourself. I don't want you doing that. They're trying to keep this person back. They might guide them. Oh, how about you go to the smaller slide? How about you play with on the swings, or you go do this? And they're trying to help guide, control how this person moves. They're trying to jump in and protect, which are all, leading, protecting. All these things are masculine, energized ways of being, right? So you have that mother, right, where she's doing the best she can to guard, to protect, and to guide this person to what she thinks is best. Versus that nurturing woman, right, and being in the feminine is when you let this person decide for themselves what they want and what they think is best for them, right? So you have this child who really wants to go on a big slide. And even though you might be fearful, even though you might not be 100% sure, you have to trust that this child is capable of going down a slide by themselves. And if they fall, that is when you jump in and you are nurturing. You're comforting, you're compassionate, right? You kiss their elbow, you dust them off, and then you send them back on their way. Not, they fall, they hurt themselves, and the first thing you want to do is jump in and scoop them up, protect them. You can't go back out there, oh my gosh, and just hold them so close that they don't have the freedom to make any mistakes. They don't have the freedom to be able to figure out life on their own. You think that you know what's best, and now you want to block them from ever experiencing that fall again, right? So this is how a lot of women show up in disguise, being mothering with being nurturing when it comes to courtship, when it comes to relationships, because they treat men the same way. They have a hard time allowing this man to figure out, how is he going to pursue them? How is he going to step up and fix problems? How is he going to lead the relationship? They have a hard time doing that, even if they have the best intentions. Even if they have the best intentions, they might feel, well, if I do this for him, maybe he'll get this job, or maybe he'll pursue this interest, or if I do this work for, if I come and travel to him, or if I do this heavy lifting for him, then maybe he'll see how good I am. Right? Because that's what the mothering place is coming from. It's coming from a place of trying to prove your worth. It's coming from a place of trying to prove that you're a good woman. And if I only show him and prove to him how good of a woman I am, then he'll value me, then he'll want me, then he'll commit. So that's where this is coming from. And women in relationships do this as well, especially for women who are married. They do this often as well, where they step into that leadership role, they step into that dominant role, feeling like they have to guide, protect that relationship, or guide and protect that man from falling or from making bad choices. So they don't fully trust him. They're not able to fully trust. They're not able to lean back. They're not able to allow this man to be vulnerable, and for them to be vulnerable as well. And if he falls, if the situation doesn't pan out, instead of punishing, instead of stepping into guard and control and protect even more, instead of trying to, I said, I knew this would happen, and, really come down on him, because men are humans, right? Men make mistakes, like, it's okay. But instead, they do that instead of showing up with empathy, with understanding, with compassion, and allowing that person to go back out into the world and figure it out for themselves. So this is something, like I said, I see this all the time in my coaching sessions. I hear it so often that I just felt compelled to want to bring it up, to want to address it, because I don't want women to confuse those two things. And the only way to turn it around, and the only way to change it, is if you actually get a hold of it. You actually identify and realize when you're doing this, so that you can be able to turn it around. So I just want to jump on here. I have to get into my next coaching session, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.